Nancy Guthrie, 84, vanished from her Tucson home, leaving family and neighbors stunned. Known as a devoted mother and grandmother, Nancy's sudden absence revealed layers no one suspected. While the public saw a woman defined by resilience and quiet strength, new evidence shows a hidden life spanning decades. Just days after her disappearance, an unmarked package arrived at her daughter Savannah's doorstep in New York. Inside, a photograph hinted at secrets long buried. What began as a missing person case has evolved into a tale of dual identities, clandestine romance, and a life carefully concealed from those closest to her. Tucson roots, widow and pillar of family. After her husband Charles died in 1989, Nancy became a widow at 47, raising 3 teenagers alone in Tucson, Arizona. Friends remember her as unwavering, turning their ranch-style home in the Catalina foothills into a sanctuary. She worked part-time as a bookkeeper, volunteered at church, and instilled faith, humor, and determination in her children, Savannah, Annie, and Cam. Her daughter often credited Nancy for shaping her career and character. To the outside world, Nancy was the epitome of grace and perseverance. Yet beneath that steady exterior, a secret life was quietly taking root, one that would span more than 30 years. The first clue, an envelope and a photograph. On February 6, 2026, 5 days after Nancy vanished, Savannah received an unmarked envelope. Inside was a faded photo of Nancy with a man unknown to the family, standing outside a small Santa Fe cafe. The handwriting on the back read, "Ask about Elena." Savannah showed the photo to Annie and Cam during a tense video call. Questions arose immediately. Who was this man? And who was Elena? The photo was dated 1992, 3 years after their father's death. It was a clue that unlocked a hidden chapter of Nancy's life, one that would reveal a double existence carefully compartmentalized for decades. The Santa Fe connection. Nancy's secret life began in 1991 during a solo trip to Santa Fe for a church retreat. There, she met Victor Ramirez, a 45-year-old artist and gallery owner from Mexico City, who had fled political unrest in the 1980s. Victor, widowed years earlier, lived freely among the Southwest's artistic community. The pair connected over shared grief. Their friendship evolved into something more intimate. Nancy returned to Tucson transformed, but concealed her emotions. She threw herself into motherhood, never revealing her secret. Weekend trips became her lifeline, an escape from duty and grief as she nurtured a clandestine romance that lasted decades. Building a second life. Nancy adopted the alias Elena, a nod to a character in a Mexican novel, as she stepped into a new world. She assisted Victor with his gallery, exhibiting her own paintings under pseudonyms. What began as innocent involvement deepened into a full parallel existence. Nancy opened a small bank account under Elena Ramirez, funneling minor funds to support the gallery. By the mid-1990s, Elena had her own circle of artists, writers, and friends, exploring creativity, debate, and passions suppressed in her Tucson life. She became flirtatious, adventurous, and uninhibited, qualities that contrasted sharply with the composed widow her children knew. Letters and hidden communication. Nancy and Victor relied on handwritten letters to avoid digital traces. These letters, hidden in a safe behind one of Victor's paintings, painted a vivid picture of her life as Elena. She described weekends in Santa Fe as her breath of freedom and documented small yet significant moments. A letter from 2005 noted, "Savannah's rising so fast in D.C., but she doesn't know the half of me. Elena lives for these weekends." These correspondences revealed the tension between Nancy's obligations in Tucson and her desires in Santa Fe. Victor remembered her guilt, conflicted between love for her children and longing for a life fully her own. Expanding the double life. By the early 2000s, Nancy had a driver's license, post office box, and studio space in Santa Fe. She maintained a small financial stake in Victor's gallery, exhibiting desert landscapes under a pseudonym. Locals knew Elena as quiet, elegant, and thoughtful, disappearing after gallery events with excuses about family. Tucson Nancy continued church and family life, weekly calls with Savannah, and domestic responsibilities. Yet Elena experienced debates, fiestas, and freedom. She embodied the parts of herself long suppressed. The balance worked for years, but the strain gradually manifested. Shorter trips, distraction, and anxiety as she juggled two identities separated by hundreds of miles. Cracks in the facade. By the 2000s and 10s, Nancy's dual existence began taking a toll on her health and mental state. Pandemic lockdowns trapped her in Tucson, heightening stress. She confided in Victor via encrypted apps on a secret phone, expressing the difficulty of being split between two worlds. After restrictions lifted, visits resumed, but her behavior became more anxious. Odd phone calls and signs of being watched emerged. Small financial anomalies, including a $5,000 wire to Mexico in December 2025, drew FBI attention. Victor claimed ignorance, and Nancy referenced helping an old friend. Agents now suspect a possible blackmail scenario, someone having discovered her hidden life. Family shock and revelations. On February 9, 2026, the FBI shared Victor's full statement with the family. Savannah, Annie, and Cam struggled to comprehend their mother's secret. Savannah whispered, "Mom had a whole other family. Art, a lover, retreats. She was Elena." Annie clutched old photos, reflecting on past visits and letters. The revelation shook them. Their steadfast, unflappable mother had lived a life entirely separate from the image she presented. Yet, the children also recognized the reasoning. Nancy protected them from heartache while embracing freedom privately. Her composure and strength now seemed both a gift and armor, shielding her family from truths they might not have been ready to process. Public reaction and media scrutiny news of Nancy's secret life sparked an immediate public response. Fans and social media debated motives, speculating about blackmail or personal betrayal. Public figures, aware of Savannah's career, responded privately with shock and empathy. Victor's gallery in Santa Fe became a temporary pilgrimage site, drawing reporters and local storytellers. Elena was remembered as a kind, generous muse who offered free art classes and quietly contributed to her community. The FBI investigation shifted focus, tracing financial transfers, interviewing associates, and canvassing neighborhoods for sightings. The mystery deepened, blending personal tragedy with the intrigue of decades-long secrets. Investigative leads and motives. Investigators are exploring multiple angles: the unusual $5,000 wire, suspicious Tucson neighbors, and gallery rivalries raise questions of coercion or blackmail. The FBI believes someone may have discovered Elena's hidden existence and targeted Nancy. Her vanishing now appears personal rather than opportunistic, with no evidence of robbery. Officials are retracing her Santa Fe visits and examining encrypted correspondence for clues. Sources note that the dual life was her rebellion against grief, offering passion and creative fulfillment. But it came at a cost: anxiety, health strains, and familial distance. The timeline of her last visit, January 15th to 20th, 2026, may hold critical clues. Conclusion: a life of secrets and sacrifice. Nancy Guthrie's story is one of duality: Tucson's devoted mother and Santa Fe's free-spirited Elena. Her decades-long secret, concealed to protect her children, now frames her disappearance in an entirely new light. The evidence points to a life meticulously compartmentalized, yet vulnerable to exposure. Family, fans, and investigators grapple with the reality of a woman who defied expectations while remaining devoted. Her courage, creativity, and secrecy reveal a complex legacy, one of love, rebellion, and sacrifice. As the investigation continues, Nancy's story challenges perceptions of duty, identity, and the costs of hidden truths.